Teacher Senyu, a wandering sage, journeyed far and wide in search of wisdom. One day, as he traversed the land, he found himself running out of water. He began searching for a water source and stumbled upon a young man who was diligently operating a water wheel near a riverbank. Teacher Senyu approached the young man and politely asked for a drink of water. The young man, upon seeing Teacher Senyu, looked at him with respect and said, "Teacher Senyu, if one day I were to renounce the worldly life like you, when that time comes, I will seek a place of enlightenment. I will dedicate myself to meditation and the study of spirituality, just as you do now. There will be no more aimless wandering for me, much like your current purpose." Teacher Senyu, intrigued by the young man's words, inquired, "But when will you find the opportunity to leave the worldly life behind?" The young man replied, "In the same generation as I. Only I possess the knowledge to operate the water wheel with such precision. I am responsible for controlling the flow of water for our village, and if someday someone can replace me in this duty, then I will be free to embark on a spiritual journey." Teacher Senyu continued to inquire, "You claim to be the master of water wheel mechanics. In that case, tell me, if the water wheel were to sink completely into the water, or remain completely above the water, what would happen?" The young man, without hesitation, explained, "The operation of a water wheel inherently requires one half to be submerged in the water, while the other half remains above it. If it were entirely submerged, it would not rotate and would suffer damage as it floats aimlessly. Conversely, if it remains entirely above water, it would be incapable of turning." With a smile, Teacher Senyu concluded, "The relationship between the water wheel and the water mirrors the relationship between humans and the world. If one fully immerses themselves in the worldly affairs, they are subject to the turbulence and uncertainties of life. However, if one remains entirely detached from the world, like a rootless tree, they struggle to escape the cycle of suffering and desire. For not understanding the ways of the world makes it difficult to transcend them." The young man pondered these words and realized the wisdom they held. He understood that balance was the key to a fulfilling life, much like the water wheel's equilibrium with the water. He thanked Teacher Senyu for the profound lesson and continued his duties with newfound awareness. In the beginning, the young man wondered why Teacher Senyu had to travel constantly without resting. Teacher Senyu compared practicing Dharma to a water wheel, saying that if he practiced Dharma without understanding the suffering of the world, it would be like a water wheel that was out of the water and could not spin. But if he lived in the world without practicing Dharma, it would be like a water wheel that was submerged in the water and would break and flow with the stream. But if he practiced Dharma and understood the suffering of the world, it would be like a water wheel that was half out of the water and could spin. Therefore, Teacher Senyu had to travel to understand the suffering of the world. Dharma is there to help us live in the world in a way that is victorious over the world or above the world. Not to escape the world, but to be above any influence of the world, not to drown in the world.
Thank you for watching. May you have peace and prosperity, and may all your wishes come true.